How we doing, folks? It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas to talk to you today. You know what we talk about, what we always talk about. What we always talk about. All things type 2 diabetes, right? How to defeat type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance and all of that stuff, right? That's what we're here to talk about, as we do each and every day. Shout out to y'all, folks, for joining my live. It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist. We're coming to you straight from the airways. We're all over the place, right? We're on all the socials. So we're on the TikToks, we're on the YouTube spheres, we're on the Facebooks, we're on all the sites. Come check us out. Come check us out everywhere, right? So shout out to y'all, everybody who's joining my live today, no matter where you're coming in from. It's Kelly, your certified holistic nutritionist. I'm coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas, as I do each and every day. Most days, right? What do I come on and talk about? Well, I'm going to come on and share some insights with you. I want to come on and share some stories with you. I want to come on and put things in simple terms for you so you can understand and how to defeat the monster, the villain. You're like, well, who's the villain? You see this guy's a villain. This is Mum-Ra. Mum-Ra's a villain, right? You want to know who else is a villain? Insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes. It's a villain. It's the villain that's been out, robbing you of life pretty much. Insulin resistance. I know that feeling. I know what it feels like to have insulin resistance. I know what it feels like to have type 2 diabetes. I know what it feels like. Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm on the other side of it now. So that's what we're going to uncover here on this live. I'm going to show you by the end of this live, folks. We'll be on here for a little while. That's what I promise you. By the end of this live, I'm going to show you how to get out of that. If you're in that hole where you've had insulin resistance for a very, very long time, you've had type 2 diabetes for a very long time, maybe it's PCOS, maybe it's pre-diabetes, right? I'm going to show you how to get out of that hole. Because I was in that hole. I was in that very same hole. Like, listen, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and being obese, all at the very same doctor's visit, folks. It was a crazy day a few years ago. Yeah. So do me a favor, when you're coming into the room, folks, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody you know struggling with this condition. Type 2 diabetes, insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, gestational diabetes, type 2 diabetes, right? Throughout this live, I'm going to be giving y'all strategies. I'm going to be giving y'all tactics. And then we're going to be able, by the end of this live, you'll be able to answer 3 questions, right? What are the 3 questions? What is it? What is insulin resistance? What is type 2 diabetes? What is it? You're going to know what that is. You're going to know how it works. You're going to know all the mechanisms that make it work, that make it tick. Woo. And then the third thing that you're going to get by the end of this live, folks, here's the third thing that you're going to get. And that third thing is, how do you fix it when it breaks? Insulin resistance, right? How do we fix? What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? Those are the 3 questions that we're going to answer on this live, folks. So when you're coming into the room, folks, do me a favor and bebop that screen, double tap that screen, and then share this live out with anybody you know struggling with this condition. Like I said, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, gestational diabetes. You share this live over there with them. Like I said, my name's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, but I wasn't always a nutritionist, wasn't always a health coach. I told you a few years ago, I go into the doctor. I get the same thing, probably that same thing. Who's ever been afraid to go to the doctor? Have you ever been afraid to go to the doctor like how I was? Like, I knew my belly had gotten out of control. I knew it. I knew my belly had gotten out of control, right? Yeah. But I wouldn't expect them to go to the doctor and get a whole bunch of other diagnoses as well. Type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance. Insulin resistance and heart disease. I wouldn't expect them to get all of that as well. You feel what I'm saying? It's called the hat trick. It's when you get 3 diagnoses at one time, right? Doctor wants me to double up 4-day on metformin. Ugh. How do you feel about that, Nato? I see you put ugh on there, right? The question is, what do you want to do? I'm not your doctor. It's not medical advice, but it's, it's here's the thing, Nato. I don't know if you've been on my live before, but I'm going to say this. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. I'll leave it at that, right? Leave it at that. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's as simple as that. Simple. It's as simple as that. When the diet is wrong, medication is of no use. But when the diet is correct, medication is of no need. Metformin included, right? Yeah. It's been people who have joined my 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Some of those folks have been taken off of their metformin after 14 days. You know what I mean? They ain't doubling up. The doctors are taking them off of it. You know what I mean? After 14 days of doing some work. You know what I mean? So, hey, there's other ways, boss. There's other decisions. There's other choices that you can make. Yeah. So the question is, what do you want? You said they want to put you on it. The question is, what do you want, though? That's a better question. I want to reverse this stuff. If you want to reverse this stuff, then hang out with your boy, right? Hang out with me. That's what I'm going to teach you on this live. I'm going to teach you to do the same thing that I did, how to reverse it, right? How to reverse it. Can't get my blood sugar below 350. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's been people who have joined my 14-day. That's tough, right? 350 is high. It's been people who have joined my challenge. This blood sugar has been higher than yours. Can't get it below that, right? 386, 400, 500, 600. You know what I mean? The numbers just keep on going. But by the time they finish the challenge, by the time they enter that 14 days, man, some of them are below 100 and some of them are 150, right? This is after 14 days of eating real food, because that's what type 2 diabetes is. That's what insulin resistance is, folks. It is, you can't process energy, right? So that's why your energy is always 350. That means you got a lot of energy in your bloodstream, but you can't use it, right? That's what I'm going to teach you. We teach you, your body, how to be receptive to insulin again, right? Insulin sensitive. That's what it is. Truck driver, bad diet, bad sleep, hate looking at these pill bottles. Nato, there's been many truck drivers who joined the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. My guy, a couple of weeks ago, Revito came on and shared his story. He's had diabetes for 10 years. Truck driver. Started off, his blood sugar was at a 150. By day 7, whoo. Oh, no, actually, it was day 3. It was at an 80. His blood sugar at an 80. You know what I mean? He's had diabetes for 10 years. It's been mad. There's been many truck drivers who have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? As long as you, here's what it is. As long as you got, maybe, you don't even have to have a crock pot. Maybe you can cook it at home. But as long as you got a fridge, you know what I mean? A little fridge you can put in your truck. I know you do, right? I know you do. You may, if you need a crock pot, you can put one in there, right? I know it. I know it, right? My sister used to be a truck driver, so I know a little thing or two about trucking. Thank you for what you're doing. Shout out to you, Nato. But yeah, man, truck driver, come on down, man. Many of truck drivers have joined that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Boom, changing their life, 14 days. Yeah, A1C 12.1. Yeah, if your A1C is a 12.1, Nato, the time to act is not now, but right now. I got to be honest with you. Not now, but right now. You know what I mean? That's more than double what we want to see it. It's more than double. So the time to act is not now, but right now. Yeah. I have a fridge. I also have an air fryer at home. Shout out to you. What about a crock pot? You got a crock pot or maybe a pressure cooker, right? That'd be good, right? Either way. But yeah, there's been many truck drivers who have joined this 14-day challenge, right? When we start talking nutrition, I do a little segment called diesel fuel versus unleaded fuel, right? Right? Diesel fuel. This is for my truck drivers, right? Diesel fuel. What is diesel fuel? That's the ultra processed foods that we talk about. A lot of the crap food that people eat. That's what diesel fuel is. And then you got unleaded. Unleaded is the food that we prefer. That's preferred. That's clean premium fuel. You fill up on unleaded. That's what fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds and whole grains and legumes, aka beans, right? Beans are going to be one of your best friends. Going to be one of your best friends. If you're trying to reverse insulin resistance, if you've got high blood sugar, beans are going to be one of your best friends, right? One of your best friends. Sounds crazy, right? Beans, like beans. Why would beans be my best friend? Why? It's because they're a different kind of starch. They're called a resistant starch. Yeah. Diesel versus unleaded. That's it. Diesel versus unleaded. Right? You know what? We might as well get into diesel versus. We might as well get into diesel versus unleaded right now, Nato. Since in honor of you, since we're here already, we might get into diesel fuel versus unleaded. Hi, doing alkaline water bring sugar down? Does alkaline water bring sugar down? No, I'm drinking alkaline water right now. Look, this is alkaline water I got right now. It ain't gonna bring your blood sugar down. You know what I'm saying? Is it good to stay hydrated? Absolutely. It's very good to your body does great when you hydrate, right? So I'm about to hydrate right now. Your body does great when it hydrates. But if you're filling up, if we're talking diesel fuel versus unleaded fuel, if you're pulling up at the pump and you put diesel fuel into your unleaded burning engine, here's the thing. It really won't matter. It really won't matter how much alkaline water you're drinking. You feel what I'm saying? If you're filling up on crap the whole time, if you're filling up on carbonated junk, refined sugar, artificial stuff, processed foods, diesel fuel, you don't put that into your unleaded burning engine, aka you. You're the engine. Think of you as the engine. Would you want premium unleaded or would you want diesel fuel into your car? You put diesel fuel into your car, it ain't gonna run right. You ain't gonna make it to the light before it breaks down, right? That's what's gonna happen. So it happened to a neighbor, I mean, not a neighbor, an old coworker of mine. His daughter put diesel fuel by accident, not even by accident. She didn't know. She's 17 years old. She went out to go hang out with her friends, borrowed the family van to go hang out with her friends. Turns out she put diesel fuel in. He comes back, the car's shaking. Turns out she put diesel fuel into this unleaded burning engine. He told me he had to spend thousands of dollars to get that car fixed, right? Thousands of dollars. Like, yo. And then at the end of the day, this is what he says. He's like, he still had to end up selling the car. He had to give it away or sell it or take it to the junkyard or something because ultimately car didn't run right because his daughter put that diesel fuel into that this one time, ruined the engine. But here's the thing. Your body, it works the same way, but your body's way more resilient than a car. It's way more resilient than a car. You put diesel fuel into a car one time, it's a wrap. You put diesel fuel into the human body once or twice or every so often, it ain't going to break down, right? It's about what you do most of the time because your body is resilient. Survival, it's a survival machine. That's a cell, that's a living organism to survive. So that's what your body wants to do. Yeah. So if you fill up on unleaded most of the time, which is fruits and vegetables and nuts and seeds, right? Vegetables, like specifically non-starchy veggies, right? Those are great veggies. Non-starchy veggies, onions, mushrooms, bell peppers, right? Cucumbers. These are the fruit. These are the vegetables, right? I've been filling up on diesel fuel for 10 years, trucking. Yeah, I know. Oh, you mean your actual 18-wheeler as well as yourself? Is that what you're saying, Nato? The 18 where you've been filling up on diesel fuel, the truck has, and then you have as well. Is that what you're saying? Or my discipline is horrible. No more. Shout out to you, boss. Shout out to you. You got to get to that point, right? You got to get to that point where here's when the point you got to get to. You get to that point where you say, hey, enough's enough. I've had it. You get to the point of disgust. Like you just get to the point where you just like, damn it, I've had it. You just want to throw something against the wall, right? That's called that rock bottom moment. Most people experience that rock bottom moment. That's what I had to experience. Maybe it's what you're going to have to experience. Maybe you've already experienced it. It's that rock bottom moment where you just look bit like, man, the only thing for things to change, here's the thing. When you come to that realization, for things to change, man, I'm going to have to change. For things to change for me, guess what? I'm going to have to change. It's when you get to that realization. When you get to that realization, for things to change, your boy going to have to change. That's a real conversation that you're going to have with yourself, though. That's a conversation that you're going to have to go look in the mirror and be like, yo, whoo. Yeah, how did I let myself get to this? That mirror conversation, that's a real conversation. You can't hide from that conversation. You got to have that conversation with yourself in the mirror. Be like, yo, how did I let it get to this, man? Right? You had that moment, that rock bottom moment, like, yo, you just peel back all the layers. And matter of fact, you go in front of the mirror with no clothes on. That's how you really vulnerable with yourself. You know what I mean? Go in front of the mirror with no clothes on and ask yourself, how did I let it get to this? You know what I'm saying? Just look at yourself in the mirror and ask, how did I let it get to this? Same thing I had to do. And when you get that answer, yeah, that's when it's time, right? That's the time. Laid off soda, eat once a day. I've gone 258 to 239. Shout out to you, though. That's shout out to you, though. Trust me, I'm having that discussion. Yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to you, Nato. Doc wanted me on insulin shots. I said no. Yeah. That's when it starts getting real, right? How long has it been? How long has we had type 2 diabetes? Right? Usually it's around that decade mark. Some people early, some people earlier, some people later, but typically around that decade mark. What's my opinion on GLP-1s, right? My philosophy on GLP-1s is always going to be lifestyle first, medication second, right? Lifestyle first, medication second. Right? A lot of people say that obesity is a disease. A lot of people say you can't reverse type 2 diabetes. Lots of people say that, right? But here's the thing. I did both. We're going to talk about a GLP-1, right? You asked me about a GLP-1. I'm going to tell you. When I lost my weight, when I lost the weight, guess what? Guess what? When I lost the weight, guess what? I was overweight. I was obese. Look, I could barely tie my shoe. You see that? I could barely tie my shoe. You know what I mean? Could barely tie my shoe. But a lot of people ask me, what did I take, right? What did I take? Did you take did you take a GLP-1? Like, what did you take, bro? Like, nah, I didn't take no GLP-1. You see that? I didn't take no GLP-1. I just used my own natural GLP-1. You get that from the food, right? I changed the food that I was eating. I knew it wasn't the GLP-1 that caused me to be obese. I knew it wasn't the GLP-1 that caused me to have type 2 diabetes. I knew it wasn't the GLP-1 that caused me to have heart disease. I knew it wasn't the GLP-1 that did that. I knew it was me and me alone. I knew it was the food that I was eating, the crap food that I was eating, right? Because that old saying, you are what you eat, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. You are what you eat. That's why I go to the doctor, had diabetes, heart disease, and being obese. It wasn't the GLP-1 that caused that. So I lost all of the weight naturally just by changing what I was eating. I didn't use no GLP-1, right? I reversed type 2 diabetes naturally. I didn't use no GLP-1, right? All of my clients who reversed the condition and lost all the weight, right? I've coached over 100 people, right? Hundreds of people, right? Lost thousands of pounds, right? Nobody's ever counted a calorie, they did the GLP-1s, but they were taken off of the GLP-1s. After they joined my program, they're off the GLP-1s, right? Within months, some within weeks, some within months. So a lot of people say that obesity is a disease. I don't believe that, right? Because Matthew comes on my lives, did what I said. In 6 months, he lost 100 pounds. In 6 months, he lost 100 pounds. Here's the picture. Here's Matthew's picture right here. I'm going to show you. Matthew lost 100 pounds, right? This was him, right? This was Matthew. 255 pounds. That was him. 6 months later, that's him. You know what I'm saying? 6 months later, that's him. People at work try to give him a drug test. They say they're going to give him a drug test. Why? Because they think that he's on drugs. There's no way that you did that through diet. That's it. So those are my thoughts on the GLP-1. It's going to be your lifestyle first, because it's a diet and nutrition disease. You fix that first. If you can't fix it with that, okay, then we can talk about the GLP-1s. But that's what it is, so we can fix it, right? So those are my thoughts. Lifestyle first, medication second. Natto. Been told I'm a pre-diabetic for years. I didn't do anything to address. Now I am here. Yep. Get it. I get it, right? I get it. It's easy. You shout out to you though. Shout out to you for having that moment in the mirror, right? Having that moment in the mirror, that knowing that that's part of the mirror work, right? Getting in that mirror and be like, yo, listen, I know it was me that let myself go, right? I already know. So I'm here right now. So now the question is, what we're gonna do about it, right? That's the past. The question is, what we're gonna do about it, right? A lot of people are doing about it is a lot of people are joining that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. That's what a lot of people are doing. Almost 500 people have joined this 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. And a lot of people, like I said, some have been taken off of their metformin. Some people have lost a bunch of weight. It's not even a weight loss challenge, right? Some people are getting their vision back, right? Some people are getting the ringing in their ears to go away. Somebody said they even hear better. Like, yo, how you hear better? Because that's what happens when you fix insulin resistance. Man, it's like your whole body comes back online. Of course, people report back their energy is coming back. This is all in 14 days. Why is it 14 days? This 14-day challenge is 14 days because I want to get you a quick win, right? I want to get you the quickest win possible. What test can be, let me see, plan to stop over the road trucking, get back home and work really even harder on my health. Got you, boss. Got you. I'm here. I'm here. There's a lot of freebies on my page, but when you're ready to start, grab all of that stuff on my page, man. A lot of freebies on my page. But when you're ready to start, your next steps are going to be simple. It's to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge and start reversing. Keyword is start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. You feel what I'm saying? That will be your next step. What test can determine if I really have insulin resistance? Well, they always start off with an A1C, right? They start off with an A1C. That's kind of like the standard across the board test. But that A1C is going to tell you a lot, but it's not going to tell the whole picture. But if you really want to tell the whole picture, you want to go get a fasting insulin test. Fasting insulin. Tell you, hey, doc, that's not a standard test. Like, hey, yo, doc, can I get a fasting insulin and can I get a C-peptide? Those are the two tests that you ask your doctor for. Fasting insulin, C-peptide. That's going to tell you if you're really insulin resistant or not. You know what I'm saying? That's where it's going to start. But you see the signs early. Your body going to start giving you the signs early. Join, follow, gotta run. Shout out to you, Nata. Thank you so much. Yeah. So when you're coming into the room, folks, do me a favor, bebop that screen, double tap that screen, share this live out with anybody you know struggling with insulin resistance, man, type 2 diabetes. We're going to put this thing to bed in 2026. We're putting insulin resistance to bed in 2026. Right? Put in the chat, folks, insulin resistance. Do me a favor. Put insulin resistance in the chat because we're gonna gear up here on this board, folks, and we're gonna talk all things insulin resistance. Because I told you, what did I tell you before we started this live? 3 things that we're gonna cover, right? What are those 3 things? 3 things is, what is it? Right. You got to know what it is. How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? Those are the 3 things that you gotta cover. If you're gonna be like some of those clients that I just showed you, right? People are losing 100 pounds, 70 pounds, and that's all further stuff. You ain't gonna lose that kind of weight quickly. I mean, you ain't gonna lose 70 pounds or 100 pounds in 14 days. But your body wants to heal. Your body wants to heal. When it comes to insulin resistance, it doesn't want to have all of that visceral fat, right? You ever see someone who has a big belly, like how I had a big belly? You want to know what that's called, folks? It's called visceral fat, visceral and ectopic fat. That ectopic fat and visceral fat, that's deep fat. That's the fat that's the most dangerous kind of fat. So that's the fat that your body wants to get rid of quickly. So that's why reversing insulin resistance, man, it can start happening super, super quickly. That's why it's only 14 days. This 14-day challenge I'm talking about. That's why it's 14 days. So we want to get you the quickest win possible. All right. But let's talk more about what did I say we were going to cover? What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? What is insulin resistance? What is type 2 diabetes? Type 2 diabetes, folks, is basically an energy disease, a disease of the energy. Put a me in the chat if you have insulin resistance or type 2 diabetes or maybe pre-diabetes, but your energy is always low. Put a me in the chat. Put a me in the chat. Maybe your energy is always low. Maybe you're hungry, or maybe you get cravings, right? Who gets cravings a lot? If you get cravings, put a me in the chat, folks. Put a me in the chat if you get cravings. But how we doing, folks? If you're just joining us, my name's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. And also put new in the chat as well. If you're new, and put where you're from, what city you're from, what country you're from, what state you're from. All right. Nita, shout out to you for joining the live. We're trying to get some crowd participation out here. But we're going to talk about all things insulin resistance. So you know what? Let's get to the board, right? Let's get to the board. Let's get to the board, folks. It's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist. Coming to you straight from the airways of Houston, Texas. Like I said, each and every day. Not every day, but a lot of days. So let's get into it. Like I said, what I say earlier, what I said we were going to do. We were going to get down to the root of insulin resistance. Didn't I? We get down to the root of it. Insulin resistance goes away. Whoo! That means your body comes back online. Because what stems from insulin resistance? Here's what stems from insulin resistance. A lot of things. High blood pressure. You got high blood pressure? Put a me in the chat. You know what I mean? If you've experienced some high blood pressure, high cholesterol, fatty liver, erectile dysfunction, low energy, right? This is all insulin resistance, folks. That's what it is. So we're going to uncover what the hell it is. So let's get into it. If you want to get your body back online, conquering insulin resistance, treating insulin resistance as the villain. Insulin is not the villain, but insulin resistance is the villain, right? Insulin is going to be one of your best friends. It's the most important hormone in the body. Like I told you before, what is type 2 diabetes? It is a disease of energy, and insulin plays a big part of that. So let's get into it. Folks, who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat carbohydrates, specifically junky carbohydrates? I'm going to start saying, because I told you before, folks, what I say about type 2 diabetes. It is predominantly a diet and lifestyle driven condition. Predominantly a diet and lifestyle driven condition. Now, there's other things that can cause, you know what I mean? Other things that can trigger you to have high blood sugar. It could be stress. It could be activity. It could be all types of stuff. Stress, activity. It could be lack of sleep. All this stuff comes into play, but it's predominantly what you're eating, right? So who can tell me, folks? Put it in the chat. What happens whenever you eat carbohydrates? Whenever you eat things like rice and pasta and lasagna and all that stuff, like what happens at that point? Who can tell me? Any guesses on who can tell me what happens to your blood sugar whenever you eat pasta, whenever you eat rice, whenever you eat lasagna, whenever you eat bread? Like what happens to your blood sugar? Any guesses? All right, no guesses. But I'll tell you what happens then. Whenever you eat rice, whenever you eat pasta, whenever you eat lasagna, whenever you eat bread, your blood sugar is going to go up. It's going to rise. So you'll start to see if you wear a continuous glucose monitor, you may see your blood sugar go from like 100 to 120 to 130 to 140 to 150 to 200, right? So what happens is whenever you eat food, it gets turned into glucose. Whenever you eat specifically pasta, things like that. Imagine this being pasta, this whole thing being a string of pasta. So when you eat it, boom, goes directly into your stomach, and all of the molecules start to come out like that, right? So you got all of these glucose molecules or energy molecules basically floating through your bloodstream. Now, that's when your blood sugar starts to rise. 400, 200, 300, 400, 500, right? Your pancreas will kick into high gear. It says, there's a lot of blood sugar in the bloodstream, so let me release my defense mechanisms. That's what the pancreas's job is to be a defense mechanism. So it releases insulin from its beta cells. And insulin's job is to attach to the cell, the actual cell, your cells, right? And open up the cell, attach to one of these little receptors, open up the cell so that the energy, aka the glucose, the sugar, right, from the food that you just ate can get into your cells. That is the job of insulin. It's a very important job. It's basically like it escorts the energy into the cells. What a pal. But the organ responsible for releasing the insulin is the pancreas. So that's how the process works, folks. You eat food, but most of the time we're eating a lot of junk food, right? That turns into glucose, aka a lot of blood sugar, energy. The energy, the pancreas notices the energy in the bloodstream, releases insulin as a defense mechanism because it doesn't want to see more than, here's the thing, folks, your body doesn't want to see more than 1 teaspoon of sugar at any given time. That's all it wants to see is a teaspoon. That's it. So your cells will uptake that energy. Pancreas doesn't want to see more than a teaspoon, right? Releases insulin. The cells open up, the energy goes in. That's it. That's how it works. And then you have energy. That's it. You see how I got energy right now? This is all through that little process that I just told you about right here. This is it. This is why I'm moving about right now due to that little process right there. It's called energy. So that's what type 2 diabetes is, folks. Type 2 diabetes is an energy disease. It's a disease of the energy. That's what it is. So when you think of type 2 diabetes, it's like, yeah, it's why you're always tired, right? It's why you're always hungry. It's why you always got sugar cravings. It's because it's an energy disease. So here's what happens. Now the cells are starting to resist. As time goes by, the cells are starting to resist. They're going to start to resist. When they start to resist, what happens now? Why are they resisting? Well, the cells are resisting because they're already full. You see these little red dots? They're already full of energy. That's why the cells are resisting the insulin. Insulin can't do its job and open up the cells. The cells are like, nope, don't come in here. Get out. We're full. And then the number 2 is it's come around too much. Insulin's come around too much. Number 1, the cells are like, we're full. And number 2, insulin's come around too much. So what happens at this point? Insulin keeps knocking and the cells keep resisting. The cells are like, we're full and you keep coming around. So no, we don't want to, no, stop it. So the pancreas overhears this and it keeps on pumping more and more insulin to try to bust down the door of the cell. That's what's happening, folks. That's how the cells start to resist. That's how insulin resistance starts. This is when it starts getting crazy. Okay, so when the cells resist, but the glucose has to go somewhere. In the meantime, insulin is also a fat storage hormone. It tells you to store the glucose as fat. Whew, that's the next step, to store the glucose as fat. So this is why people have trouble losing weight, folks. If you got insulin resistance, you got type 2 diabetes, this is why people have trouble losing the weight. They got trouble losing the weight. Why? Because of this. Because of this right here. Fat storage. Insulin is a fat storage hormone. So if you got high levels of insulin, hyperinsulinemia, it's a fancy way of saying you got a lot of damn blood sugar. You got a lot of insulin. You got a lot of insulin. So that's why you can't lose the weight, because insulin tells you to store fat. It's a fat storage hormone. And then finally, whenever you store fat, guess what happens now? As soon as you store fat, your body says store fat, you immediately get hungry again, you get tired, and you get cravings, right? Put a me in the chat. If you get hungry, you get tired, you get cravings. Put a me in the chat, folks. You get tired, you get hungry, you get cravings. Put a me in the chat. Because just like how I did, I used to get, man, sugar cravings. Whoo. I used to get the hell out of some sugar cravings. You feel what I'm saying? Get the hell out of some sugar cravings. You know? Yeah. Mine used to go to was gummy worms. Gummy worms, washing it down with a Mountain Dew. That was my jam. You feel what I'm saying? Gummy worms mixed with a Mountain Dew. That was my sugar cravings. So, but that's what happens, folks. It's a disease of the energy. Remember I said that? So that's why you get the cravings, because your body knows the quickest form of energy that it can get is from sugar. You get hungry because your body's like, I'm running on E. Give me some, I feel like I'm running on E. Give me some fuel, right? So I'm hungry, even though you could have just eaten an hour and a half ago. Boom. And then you get tired, right? You get tired for the same thing. It's the same thing, folks. That's the reason that you get tired. So that's it, folks. And then you repeat the process. You go satisfy those cravings. You go get hungry because you go satisfy those cravings, and then you repeat the process, right? You go get some junk food, maybe, to satisfy those cravings, just like how I used to do. You spike your glucose, your pancreas kicks into high gear, releases insulin. The cells are already resisting because they got enough energy already, and it's just they keep resisting the insulin. It's too much insulin. Then you got fat storage that comes into play. Then you get tired again. Then you get hungry. Then you get cravings. It's just like a vicious cycle. And you just literally, you do this every day. You do that every day, folks. And that's insulin resistance. That's insulin. Any questions on insulin resistance? Any questions on insulin resistance? Okay. Questions on insulin resistance going once. Questions on insulin resistance going twice. Questions on insulin resistance going 3 times. No questions on insulin resistance. All right. How you fix insulin resistance is right here with the food that you're eating. That's how you fix insulin resistance. The food that you're eating will determine mostly. It's a lot of other things, but it's predominantly mostly the food that you're eating. We change that up, which is the source. We get to the source of it. Get yourself on a good nutrition plan, like which I have, right? Which my programs we offer. Good nutrition plan, because a great nutrition plan actually, because that's what type 2 diabetes is. It is a disease of the nutrition, right? It is a disease of the nutrition. What we're doing for 14 days, we're going to show you how to start reversing type 2 diabetes. Are you going to reverse type 2 diabetes in 14 days? No, you ain't going to do that. But in 14 days, we've strategically designed this system on how to reverse this whole process right here. I told you, what did I tell you in the beginning of this live? I said we're gonna do 3 things, right? Three things. What is it? How does it work? How do we fix it when it breaks? Those are the three things. We covered what insulin resistance was. We covered how does it work. And we're going to cover now how do you fix it when it breaks. You fix it through the food that you're eating. That's where we start. All right. Show you where all the goodies are, folks, and we'll get out of here. We'll get out of here on that one. Let me show you where all the goodies are. So if you click here, let me see. So if you click here, well, my name was says Kelly Gilbert. You click there, and then you click on my picture again. It's going to take you to that link in my bio, right? It will take you there. Here it is. See this link? Boom. Press this link. Folks, this is where all the goodies are. There's a lot of goodies on my page. Grab all the goodies out of there. There's the ultimate veggie guide right here. Look at that. The ultimate veggie guide right there. Boom. If you have not gotten the ultimate veggie guide, go grab that. Cop that ultimate veggie guide. What is it? It's exactly what I said it is. It's the ultimate veggie guide, right? Veggie is going to be very, very, very crucial when it comes to starting your reversal process of type 2 diabetes. So yes, veggies are going to be fantastic. So this is called the ultimate veggie guide. So grab that, right? Absolutely free. Thank you for joining my live. I appreciate that. And here it is. Here's a lot. Here's a lot of other goodies, right? Here's the quiz you can take. There is a master class that you can register for. It's a free master class where I break down the lifestyle medicine formula. It's a 4-part formula, folks, that I break down. People ask me, how do you defeat type 2 diabetes? Like, how do you do it naturally? Okay, you want to know how to do it naturally? You register for that master class. You watch that master class, right? And at the end of that master class, just like how I gave up here, by the end of that master class, you're going to know exactly what the formula is. It's a 4-part formula: peaceful mind, active body, clean eating, effective sleep, pace, maintain your pace. Woo! That's my gift to you for joining my live, right? That's the webinar. But then the big one's right here, the 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. This one is my folks. This one is on a different level, though. This one is for my folks who are ready for serious change. You ready for serious change? You ready to start kicking insulin resistance in the butt? Like, really? Your next steps are going to be simple. It is to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? And start reversing type 2 diabetes naturally. Now, this is the only one that I got to charge you for, because it's, like I said, it's real people just like you getting real results. 14 days. You use that discount code PROGRESS. You're joining the challenge at 20% off. It's $79 to join that 14-day blood sugar reset challenge, right? It's going to change your life. 14 days. This right here. 14-day blood sugar reset challenge. Only one that I got to charge you for, bro, because it's real people just like you. You see that? That was me. Diabetes, heart disease, and being obese. The triple whammy, all three. I don't have any of those anymore. I've reversed them all. I'm going to show you how to start running that race. I'm going to show you how to start running that race simply through the food that you're eating. Your nutrition, right? Your nutrition, because that's where it starts. We get you on a nice structured plan what these 14 days are. It's nice and structured for folks with pre-diabetes and type 2 diabetes and insulin resistance and all that stuff. To start the reversal process of this right here, because it can be done, right? Many people have reversed insulin resistance. Many people have reversed type 2 diabetes. It's not something that's new, right? Right? It's something that's been around for a while. People are doing it. I did it, and all of my clients did it, and lots of other people are doing it. Over 500 people have joined this challenge. I told you, what did I say at the beginning of this live? We're going to answer 3 things. What is it? What is insulin resistance? How does it work, right? How do you fix it when it breaks? Well, you fix it through the food that you're eating. Right? You start in that 14 days. All right, so let's get out of here, folks. We're going to get out of here on that. It's Kelly, certified holistic nutritionist, getting ready to sign out from Houston, Texas, right? Shout out to y'all for joining my live. Appreciate y'all coming in, hollering at your boy about insulin resistance. But here's the thing. You've got the choice. You've got the choice, but I'm going to leave y'all with this. You've got the choice to reverse type 2 diabetes, to start reversing type 2 diabetes or not. You've got the choice. Right? The power's in your hands. You've got the choice. You see, because when we're born, we look like our parents, right? That's what we look like. Maybe you look like your mom, maybe you look like your dad. The point is, you look like your parents. But when you die, whoo, you don't look like your parents anymore. Now you look like your choices. Know what you do. Yeah, that shit was straight up boo boo. Very good in protein, but not only that, tempeh helping build the gut microbiome. This is a protein in here. This is 8 p.m. We're talking heavy. Yeah, my number's straight up trash, man. Some people. Oh, over there. Ain't nobody on there anyway.